Hello, this is Jeffrey Mangus with Books Build Leaders podcast and YouTube channel. Thank you again for all of my new subscribers and everyone supporting the channel, and it really means a lot to me. It helps getting the word out there, and if you are here for the first time, please subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the show. And please feel free to share the show with anyone out there that's looking to possibly write a book. My show is geared toward helping anyone to not only find a professional ghostwriter to help them write their book, but also talk about books in general, publishing, and the processes in actually going about writing a book. Today's episode, I want to talk about something very, very, actually, most people don't even really consider this as an issue. It's a new thing. I want to talk about why would any leader write a hybrid leadership memoir and book. So before I go further, what is a hybrid leadership memoir book? What I have found over the past 9 years as a ghostwriter is that working for CEOs and entrepreneurs and leaders all around the world, every leadership or business book that I've written always includes a story or a time of a leader's life where they went through obstacles and challenges and had travesties in their life and how they overcame those challenges. It always comes down to a personal story that the leader has in their life that they've experienced, that they've broken through, and that has not only led the concept of the book, but also has driven the passion to write that book and to help others aspire to reach their success. So I have hung my hat as a ghostwriter on this. I love writing these type of books. It's so intriguing and so inspiring to hear the stories and feel the emotions of these people around the world and what they've experienced. And it's helped me as a business owner, as a small business owner. It's helped me just to be able to keep going, have that courage to keep going by being involved in these people's lives throughout and writing their books. So hybrid leadership memoir books is something that I want to focus in on and narrow down in and specialize in, and I have, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey. So I really felt led to talk about it today and want to describe the very reasons and the advantages and disadvantages to writing a hybrid leadership memoir book. So the question, going back to the question, why would any leader bother to write a hybrid leadership business book? And I know it's an unorthodox way to start the podcast, but it's a question worth asking and exploring, and that's what I want to do here. Think about it. When you walk into a Barnes and Noble or Books A Million, all you have to do is tap a button on Amazon, and you'll find, the market saturated with books from thousands of areas of interest and genres, especially in business, because there's a plethora of business books out there. Everything from books by Simon Sinek, John Maxwell, Malcolm Gladwell, Tony Robbins, just to name a few. They're out there, and they're wonderful books, each with a unique concept. But a good deal of leadership books, and this is not a negative, it's just a reality. They tackle the same themes and recycle some of the similar notions. They just spin it, uniquely, matching that person's personality and style. And that's okay to do as well. But all in all, though, the reality about books and about nonfiction books is, there are statistics on nonfiction books that, usually most people that publish one sell less than 250 copies. And then there's even some people are lucky to even sell over 2,000 copies of the book. Now, that's not every book. That's not the norm. These are just averages. But if a book is launched right, and if it's written with high quality, and if it's written with a unique, specialized concept, the book has a better chance of selling way more copies. And it has to be done right. A book has to be treated as a business its inventory. It has to be marketed. It has to be published and promoted and put out there in the proper way for it to generate sales. And that's a whole other podcast. But these are the realities of some of these, the realities of how books don't really get off the ground is what we face. So despite all these challenges, why would any leader want to continue writing these type of books? What's the reason? Why is that? And I mean, most small and large business owners, CEOs, top level executives, and influential leaders, I mean, they're still writing books. And I'm just finished up 4 different books for 4 different leaders around the world. So they're being written, they're being out there, they're getting out there, because there's the goal with every single book of this nature is to help others, and for the leader, the founder, the CEO to share their valuable experience and expertise, plus while generating getting a significant advantage in their marketplace, in their industry, through the use of the book. It builds authenticity. It shows leadership skills, and it builds brands. And we're going to talk all about that. So, but even with the rise of online media, a printed book remains. It's the ultimate showing or demonstration of authority and influence for any leader. There are many savvy authors out there who use their books as marketing tools, powerful marketing tools for their companies. And they use their books to attract prospects, they onboard new clients, and find new team members, and even using books to form collaborative partnerships and to upscale their business and increasing prices even, because a book is a huge way to show authority again and expertise. And you can, by having that in print, you can actually add value to your business and upscale your pricing to show and demonstrate your expertise. So these are one of the main reasons why leaders are still writing books of this nature, despite the stats about low sales and that kind of thing. But because money and professional success, it's not everything. It's not. That's what I mean. Money and success is absolutely what people aspire to. It's what I aspire to. Money is necessary to it's a necessary evil to go. That you have to live and pay your bills. But it's not everything. Many leaders, they enjoy and find their fulfillment in taking the time to self-explore, do self-introspection, and express their thoughts onto the page. It's freeing, it's cleansing, it's also a way to clarify things in your mind. And writing a book of that nature, of a hybrid leadership memoir book, it helps organize your thoughts and by putting them all on paper. Again, that's more value than money. And these are all things that will leave a legacy. We'll talk about that as well. So returning back to the question, why would any leader write a hybrid business leadership memoir? What motivates them? What would be some main motivators to do that? One of the main reasons is when a leader has an idea in their head or a concept in their head, this is a way to get it out and bring it to the world uniquely, and to show your concept, putting a completely different spin on some of the same topics, to show your expertise. So before writing your book, what you need to do is spend a couple hours looking at your grand vision, reflecting on it, looking for what you want to say, actually explore how you're going to influence and aspire through your story, and before you tell it in a memoir. Because as you progress through it, you want to elaborate on your career, your achievements, and emphasize the impact of how the things you've been through has affected your leadership. These are all things that you want to think about within your concept of your book to make it impactful for the reader at the end of the day. But when you engage in self-introspection, you gain clarity. You're going to create a strong mental picture of your book's concept, its potential, its impact, and which will define the purpose of your memoir and engage readers down the line. The next thing you want to think about is how your business memoir, your hybrid leadership book is going to align with again, making an impact. You want to summarize your core message. You want to and make sure you deliver it in a focused and in a way that's going to capture the purpose and definitely have the intention to affect on your readers, have that purposeful impact on your readers. And the first thing you want to think about is doing that through authenticity and relatability. And what I'm talking about that is a hybrid memoir can resonate deeply with readers by intertwining your personal experiences with your leadership lessons. And this is, sharing your personal stories. It fosters a connection with your reader. That's just, regular writing, just how to doesn't do it. How to is great if that's, what you want to do, but by not adding personal stories, it makes it sometimes fall flat. And by adding your experience, these are things that makes the writing more theatrical, more engaging, more it connects with the reader deeper than just a how-to. One of the other possibilities and positive aspects to writing a memoir or a hybrid memoir is its diverse audience appeal. And what I mean by that is writing in this format can attract a broader audience, including new aspiring leaders, established professionals that are already out there that you can help them as well, and again capture new general readers that are interested in personal growth and storytelling. It's really a fantastic way to do that, and again going back to show your authenticity throughout the book. Writing a hybrid memoir is also something that one of the advantages is enhanced learning. This kind of narrative style will help your reader understand your complex leadership concepts, and readers can easily understand the lessons when you present them in a relatable context. This goes back to connecting with your reader. This will connect you with the reader and how you influence on how others perceive you as a leader and a founder. It's something you definitely want to think about when you're writing this type of book. One of the next positive advantages is I call inspiration and motivation. By sharing your personal stories of your struggles, your failures, your triumphs, you can inspire and motivate your new readers to conquer their challenges. And that's your goal. You want to help them overcome their mountains and their obstacles. The reader, again, remember, is a person, and they're going through something. They're going through struggles. And if you bring your authenticity to the page, showing what you've been through and how you conquered it, and you talk about your failures and what you learned from those failures, they can relate to your story, and it furthers their support of you and your business by, again, word of mouth. People will share your book, share your expertise out there, and because if you've helped them and you've helped them change their lives, they're going to share that kind of news with other readers and other people in their circles. It's absolutely fantastic. One of the other positive advantages to writing a hybrid memoir leadership book is legacy building. I talk about this a lot. A hybrid leadership memoir told through your story, your perspective, through engaging content and delivering your proper leadership lessons is a powerful testament to you and to your leadership. And it's your leadership journey, as you provide valuable insight and reflections on what you've done, it contributes to a broader conversation on leadership, which leaves a lasting legacy for you. Leaving a legacy is critical and one of the most important parts of writing a book, because it's going to outlive you, the writing that you do. So these are very important aspects to writing a hybrid memoir leadership book. One of the other positive aspects to it is that you get a chance to really dive deep and have some deep personal reflection. Writing is a craft, and writing, even if you're working with a ghostwriter, you're still the author, and you're still as part of the writing, and it can serve as a a way to really add value to your life through self-reflection, and plus it'll help you dive deep into learning who you are to help other authors define their leadership and their journey. So by delivering your philosophy and your values and understanding who you are, it's a freeing and organic way to understand yourself and also help others. Because when you explore and you learn more about yourself as a person and as a leader, it's a win-win, because the more you know about yourself, the more confident you are, the more authentic ways you can bring to the page to help others aspire to their success journey. It's a win-win situation. But I want to also talk about some of the disadvantages to writing a book of this nature, because there is another side to the coin. With all these different positive aspects with a hybrid leadership memoir book, I mean, there are just a few disadvantages that I want to talk about and that you need to be aware of. When you're writing these type of books, there must be a balance, and a personal balance between professional and personal. What I mean by that is, you need to strike the right balance between your personal narrative, your stories, and your person, and then how you intertwine them with your professional insight. It's a challenge, I will say that, and that's what, as a professional ghostwriter, I know how to answer and ask the right questions that will inspire these type of things and strike that balance between the personal and professional. Because when you place, if you're writing your book and you place too much emphasis on your personal stories, it'll dilute your message, and it also can distract the reader, because eventually the reader is going to say, hey, what's in it for me? What am I getting out of it? That's great. I hear your stories, but I need you to help me, because that's what you need to think about when you're writing your book. It's always about the reader. It's never about you. It's about them. And I always make that very clear. And as a ghostwriter, I help you as the author keep that in your mind. I keep that in focus, with the writing, and I make sure that there's no dilution of your stories, that they're not excessive, that we have a cadence within those chapters, that you tell your story, but then there's also a time where you need to break from you and go toward the reader and show you how you can help them through your narrative. It's a delicate balance, and that's where, again, as a professional ghostwriter, I can help you strike that balance and keep you on track. It's one of the things that most people don't talk about when hiring a ghostwriter. A professional one, someone that knows what they're doing, can help you keep that balance and strike that balance. But part of one of the disadvantages of writing a book this way is you run the risk of being vulnerable and exposing some of your life that you may not, you may be afraid to expose. And honestly, here is where it gets tricky, because writing a hybrid leadership memoir, it does expose you, and it should, if you're doing it right, expose you to past pains and hurts. And I know you're probably asking, why would I do that to myself? Why would I want to go through that? But that's where the authenticity, and that's where all of that lies, is that being vulnerable and digging deep into yourself, and having the bravery and guts to bring it forward. And as a ghostwriter, I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to be brave. I encourage you to face the fears and challenges of that, because it's an enlightening experience. When you start wading through memories and sorting out the lessons that you've learned, and sharing them, it does make you vulnerable. Honestly, it can be uncomfortable, and for some authors, it can be very, very difficult. And that's why hiring a ghostwriter like myself, I help you mitigate through these things, and I help you understand what's going on, and also know how to bring it to the page where it shows your vulnerability and your authenticity, but it doesn't expose you to anything that could land you in hot water. I definitely protect you there, and protect your reputation, and also protect your privacy. There are some things that, honestly, I get it, you don't want the world to know, and that's perfectly okay. And that's why hiring a professional ghostwriter is critical to make sure that these things are protected, and that you understand when you're being vulnerable in these situations, and how to bring it to the page in a professional way. Because honestly, by not being vulnerable and not going through the pain, you may run the risk of having a perception of lack of authority. And what I mean by that is, for example, in today's AI-driven technical society, authenticity is crucial. Bringing authentic writing to the page is crucial. Again, going back to hiring a professional ghostwriter is critical in this aspect, because as the author, readers are going to rely on you to be transparent and bring your authenticity to the page. That's why they're buying your book. That's why they believe in you. They want you to tell them honestly what's going on. They don't want a computer or an algorithm to help them along. They don't need that. They need you. They need your personal perspective. The readers, I mean, if at any point the reader doubts your credibility or expertise, your memoir is done, your book is done, and they'll shut the book, and the book will never sell and never move forward. So, you want to make sure that you bring authenticity through your personal anecdotes, and make sure you establish your leadership principles by being authentic, transparent, open, and honest, and going through your vulnerability. Going back to vulnerability is the fastest and most respected way to do that to the page. And as a ghostwriter, I help you as the author to do all of these things, to be authentic, to be transparent. I challenge you through questions, through meetings, through discussions. These are all important aspects that I bring to the page and bring to the table with you as a professional ghostwriter. One other disadvantage that a lot of people don't think about is it's going to take a lot of time and effort, and this is where hiring a ghostwriter like myself comes into play for sure. If you're a busy leader and you want to write a book, but you don't want to disrupt your business, your life, you don't want it to affect it. So, but creating an impactful book of high quality, just no sugarcoating it, requires a significant investment of your time. So hiring a ghostwriter like me can alleviate some of that. You can maintain your business and maintain your life while the ghostwriter like me is off doing the work, so you can still have your book being written and still be involved, completely immersed in it, but also not disrupt your entire life. Creating a hybrid leadership memoir book will demand time. It's going to demand effort, and it's going to demand refining the story, and again finding that perfect balance between lessons and professional and personal writing and stories. So as an author, you want to consider that there is an investment of time. Usually most books of this nature take between 6 to 8 months to write. And I always am upfront about that with meeting new authors, about that time frame to do it right. And I talk about this all the time, there's a lot of ghostwriters out there, the so-called ghostwriters. They say they can write a book in a month or 3 months, or yes, they can, but is it going to have quality? Is it going to have the concept right? Is it going to be professionally written? Is it going to shine and be able to rise above the crowd? The answer would probably be no. It takes a good 6 to 8 months of hard effort to make a book, the way it should be and make it professional quality. So adhere to that. And when you step into a project like this, understand it's going to take an investment of time and effort to make it happen. Another disadvantage, not so much a disadvantage, but something you want to be aware of is the audience, your readers' expectations of what you're bringing to them. Because as you write the book, there's going to be different segments in the book that have different expectations of content. What I mean by that is some readers may come to you and read for your stories. Some may come for the values that you want to teach them. And then there are going to be other readers that are going to come to you for direct help and are seeking information to further their business careers. Again, this goes back to finding the balance in your narrative that's going to hit all the buttons here. That would be best. And again, hiring a ghostwriter like myself knows how to balance that. I will guide you through the process and letting you understand how to balance all of these things, hit all of the buttons, engage your readers, but still keep the project on track. Because meeting the needs of all your readers is a challenge. And because of all these different preferences. And so I'm giving you advice here that, you want to be authentic again. You want to, go through your vulnerability, be honest and transparent, and always, bring it through engaging storytelling. And again, this is where I come into play to help you bring your message through experience and storytelling. And I know how to do that and bring it to the page. And then one of the disadvantages to leadership, business leadership, hybrid leadership memoir books is market competition. There's things you got to think about. Of course, you are a business leader, so you're not afraid of competition. You understand it. That's your world. That's what you live in. But with books, I mean, there's a saturation, like I talked about in the very beginning of this, of leadership, books in that category, and it makes it very difficult to distinguish yourself among the others. So your hybrid memoir needs to be a unique perspective. It needs to bring a unique perspective and a narrative that stands out in the competitive market. And this is where hiring a ghostwriter like myself can do that. From my experience, I can see concepts, I can see things that are not working, I can see flaws in the narrative that I bring forward to help you understand better, to help your book shine and rise above the crowd. Because you need to bring a unique perspective. You need to bring authentic concepts. And also, most of all, you need to bring your passion and heart to the subject. This goes back to understanding the time and effort that you're going to put into it. Bringing your passion and your heart to the subject will help you rise above the crowd. And I know how to teach you to do that as a ghostwriter. And I will show you every step of the way the things that you need to do to rise above and make your book stand out. But overall, writing a hybrid leadership memoir, it's going to provide you a unique platform for sharing your insights and your experiences. But it also, again, to summarize it all, it requires a balance of your personal story and your professional guidance. And this is where a ghostwriter comes into play in helping you strike that balance. And as an author, you must weigh all of these advantages and disadvantages to help you develop your concept, and also how you're going to approach the book writing. But overall, all of your concepts and how you approach it needs to align with your goals for your book and for your readers' expectations. It's very, very important. So I hope you got something out of this today. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at Jeffrey. Actually, you can email me at jeffamangusauthor@gmail.com. You can also reach me at jeffreymangus.com. You can contact me directly with any questions you have. And if you're here today and you're listening to my podcast and my video, if you're a business leader, if you have a memoir story or book idea you'd like to discuss, please get in touch with me. I would love to talk to you about it. No obligation. Get on my schedule, and I would love to hear your book idea and figure out how we can make that happen. I enjoyed today, and I hope you got something out of it. And if you're here listening to my podcast for the first time, please subscribe to my channel, and please share the channel, my video channel, with any like-minded people that want to write books, or authors or leaders or business people in your circles. I would love to have that, and I really appreciate all your time and effort. Thank you again. This is Jeffrey Mangus with jeffreymangus.com and Books Build Leaders podcast. Have a great day.